Alright, motherfuckers. Sorry, non-kid channel. Just satellite view. It's the pre-battle, pre-fight hype fucking bullshit talk before we get going here. Americans are actually on the board right now, but they will not be on the board to start. They're coming on any side hex on this side of the river they want to, except for those tanks. I'll explain that in a minute. They will come on when a certain condition is met by the American infantry or by lack of effort of the German infantry. And that's about it. Special rules. We'll do... Those are the... Crossing the river, infantry can do it. It takes one turn to get in and one turn to get out. And then you're basically right by the... you gotta advance up onto the bush line, one turn to get into the water, and you advance out and you're right by the other side of the bush line. So that's it. So if you don't plan it right, it could be a 3-turn move to get through the trees. That's a big waste of time, but it is an option. Those bush lines count as cover, soft cover. Those are wood hexes, so you get the soft cover for being on those. And if you're on the opposite side, you can't see through it. I think that's how it goes in the books. Shit like that is hard cover. Those are bunkers. That's for real. So bring your flamethrower, kids. Those bush lines are, of course, be soft cover. And that's about it. Everything, the rest of the terrain is nothing impassable. Everything should be pretty easy to move along, move around, get along. If I think of anything else, I'll get to it. Alright, we'll go through the American forces, and then we'll go through German stuff after that. And then games probably kick off tomorrow. Just waiting on my boys to get here. Commanding officer of this hopefully not ill-fated attack will be this guy. Might come up with some actual, look up some European World War II regiments to try to come up with some actual realistic stuff. Like, Captain Huya Booyah is his little assistant guy. He's got his radio there. He's got his iPhone. This guy's got a little backpack. They'll work together. Do some snap 2 orders. Second in command is First Lieutenant right here. He's got his 2 boys with him. One's got a submachine gun, and I think the other one's got a rifle, yeah. Nothing too exciting. Support weapons and support people. This is a artillery forward observer, sorry, right there. Never used one of those before, so should be fun. Got a medic. I was a medic. God bless it. Love it. Wasn't Army though. No, I'm just kidding. Marine Corps. So got a medic. That should be hopefully bring some people back from the dead. Doesn't get blown to shit. Got a now for your weapons company. I got a bazooka team, 81 millimeter mortar team, and a sniper team. Also, using the American kick-ass rule, 3 30 cals. So I'm hoping they can sling some bullets and do some damage to the Germans here. So that's it for the real support guys. Vehicle-wise, they've got 2 half-tracks. Each can carry a full squad of troops. I'm probably going to use one of these to tow, at least in the first turn. So I have an idea. I think, yeah, I have an idea of where that should go. An artillery piece we have later on down the road. So it's 2 half tracks. This I'm gonna enjoy using this. The old Calliope. Never used it before. Just got to put it together. Should be a blast. And then a Greyhound. So got the little raspberry beret. He's up top, looking good. He thinks he's special. Recon could be cool too. Don't know. 105 millimeter howitzer. Got their little portable trees with them. They're going to get somewhere and just try to lob some rounds at some Germans. Infantry components. They've got little special forces attachment to the infantry guys. This is a Ranger squad. We brought these guys in to get the job done along with their little buddies. Engineer squad. These are the two veterans. It's an 11-man engineer squad. I think these guys got some crazy firepower. I think they have 2 BARs, 3 machine guns. They've got that light machine gun. They got a lot of cool stuff. They're going to come out of the gate running like they're running their asses off. Let me give the Rangers lead it away move, so they'll probably come charging out of there like an insane monster. It could get killed right away. Don't know. But usually Rangers are pretty tough, especially with veterans. Engineer squad, I've never used these guys in combat. I've used the German Pioneers, so probably the same. They've got 2 BARs, two submachine guns, maybe 3 submachine guns, 1 rifle, and a flamethrower team. So they're going to be crucial for digging the infantry out. Oh, that's going to be fun. And then you got 3 identical 11-man U.S. Regular infantry. First squad, second squad, third squad. So definitely company strength here. It's a big ass fucking platoon with all this crap. So at least they have that's your standard platoon there, and the other guys are attached on to make it a little bit better with the weapons squad too. So a few squads short of a company, but at least a couple platoons worth. Each one of these American squads has, the NCO has a SMG. They have 2 BARs, and the rest are rifles. So they should be, especially with the advanced role, they're going to have to keep moving. Get those bayonets a-working. So their objective is to secure one of the 2 bridges. To secure it, they have to be, a American unit has to be on it or within 12 inches of said bridge, and there can be no Germans within 18 inches of the bridge. So, and then once that occurs, the next turn, the American armor gets to come on this road hex right here. So that'll be a game changer. So you get 3 Sherman 75s and a Chaffee light tank. That's a command. That one has the command tank. So let's see what they can do. I'm going to walk over here to what the Germans have got. They're kind of scattered around a little bit. I can probably zoom in with this. We'll go from right to left or north to south. On the north bridge, no, I'll go closer. Sorry. North Bridge, you got a veteran grenadier infantry unit. They have, I'm trying to remember, 3 SMGs, 2 Panzerfaust, and a light machine gun. And the rest are rifles. And they're dug in behind the trees there. Got their little NCO by the bridge. To their right, I got a Panzerschreck team. I think they're veteran. And then an MG42 team, and they're veteran as well. There's a bunker behind them. There's a bunker at each bridge point. Each bunker has a PaK-40 inside. Sorry if I'm getting you seasick. On top, there's 2 forward observers. The one on the right is the probably the regimental forward observer. He's an artillery observer. And the guy on the left is the forward observer for the 152 millimeter howitzer back there. On the bunker, there's another identical to the last veteran grenadier infantry squad, 3 SMGs, light machine gun, and the rifles. And they've got their transport, little Hanomag, with 2 medium machine guns on board. ready to pile in there and get on that party bus. There is the before mentioned 152 millimeter howitzer. That is well in range of both bridges, so that's going to rain down some serious death. This should be fun, especially against infantry. It's a whirlwind. In front of them is your commanding officer for the Germans. We've got a captain with two guys with assault rifles. So let's say he's Waffen SS. They're pretty serious bastards. Oh, I'm gonna pause. Alright, motherfuckers. Sorry, non-kid channel. Just satellite view. It's a pre-battle, pre-fight hype fucking bullshit talk before we get going here. Americans are actually on the board right now, but they will not be on the board to start. They're coming on any side hex on this side of the river they want to, except for those tanks. I'll explain that in a minute. They will come on when a certain condition is met by the American infantry or by lack of effort of the German infantry. And that's about it. Special rules. We'll do, those are the crossing the river. Infantry can do it. It takes one turn to get in and one turn to get out, and then you're basically right by the you got to advance up onto the bush line, one turn to get into the water, and you advance out and you're right by the other side of the bush line. So that's it. So if you don't plan it right, it could be a 3-turn move to get through the trees. That's a big waste of time, but it is an option. Those bush lines count as cover, soft cover. Those are wood hexes, so you get the soft cover for being on those. And if you're on the opposite side, you can't see through it. I think that's how it goes in the books. Shit like that is hard cover. Those are bunkers. Those for real. So bring your flamethrower, kids. Those bush lines, of course, will be soft cover. And that's about it. The rest of the terrain is nothing impassable. Everything should be pretty easy to move along, move around, get along. If I think of anything else, I'll get to it. Alright, we'll go through the American forces, and then we'll go through German stuff after that. And then games probably kick off tomorrow. Just waiting on my boys to get here. Commanding officer of this hopefully not ill-fated attack will be this guy. Might come up with some actual, look up some European World War II regiments to try to come up with some actual realistic stuff. Like Captain Huya Booyah is a little assistant guy. He's got his radio there. He's got his iPhone. This guy's got a little backpack. They'll work together. Do some snap 2 orders. Second in command is First Lieutenant right here. He's got his 2 boys with him. One's got a submachine gun, and I think the other one's got a rifle, yeah. Nothing too exciting. Support weapons and support people. This is a artillery forward observer, sorry, right there. Never used one of those before, so should be fun. Got a medic. I was a medic. God bless it. Love it. Wasn't Army though. No, I'm just kidding. Marine Corps. So got a medic. That should be hopefully bring some people back from the dead. Doesn't get blown to shit. Got a now for your weapons company. I got a bazooka team, 81 millimeter mortar team, and a sniper team. Also, using the American kick-ass rule, 3 30 cals. So I'm hoping they can sling some bullets and do some damage to the Germans here. So that's it for the real support guys. Vehicle-wise, they've got 2 half-tracks. Each can carry a full squad of troops. I'm probably going to use one of these to tow, at least in the first turn. So I have an idea. I think, yeah, I have an idea of where that should go. An artillery piece we have later on down the road. So it's 2 half tracks. This, I I'm gonna enjoy using this. The old Calliope. Never used it before. Just got to put it together. Should be a blast. And then a Greyhound. So got the little Raspberry Beret. He's up top, looking good. He thinks he's special. Recon could be cool too. Don't know. 105mm howitzer. Got their little portable trees with them. They're going to get somewhere and just try to lob some rounds at some Germans. Infantry components. They've got a little special forces attachment to the infantry guys. This is a Ranger squad. We brought these guys in to get the job done along with their little buddies. Engineer squad. These are the two veterans. It's an 11-man engineer squad. I think these guys got some crazy firepower. I think they have 2 BARs, 3 machine guns. They've got that light machine gun. They got a lot of cool stuff. They're going to come out of the gate running like they're running their asses off. Me give the Rangers lead it away move, so they'll probably come charging out of there like an insane monster. They could get killed right away. Don't know. But usually Rangers are pretty tough, especially with veterans. Engineer squad, I've never used these guys in combat. I've used the German Pioneers, so probably the same. They've got 2 BARs, 2 submachine guns, maybe 3 submachine guns, 1 rifle, and a flamethrower team. So they're going to be crucial for digging the infantry out. Oh, that's going to be fun. And then you got 3 identical 11-man U.S. Regular infantry. First squad, second squad, third squad. So definitely company strength here. It's a big ass fucking platoon with all this crap. So at least they have that's your standard platoon there, and the other guys are attached on to make it a little bit better with the weapons squad too. So a few squads short of a company, but at least a couple platoons worth. Each one of these American squads has, the NCO has a SMG. They have 2 BARs, and the rest are rifles. So they should be, especially with the advanced role, they're going to have to keep moving. Get those bayonets a-working. So their objective is to secure one of the 2 bridges. To secure it, they have to be, the American unit has to be on it or within 12 inches of said bridge, and there can be no Germans within 18 inches of the bridge. So, and then once that occurs, the next turn, the American armor gets to come on this road hex right here. So that'll be a game changer. So you get 3 Sherman 75s and a Chaffee light tank. That's a command. That one has the command tank. So let's see what they can do. I'm going to walk over here to what the Germans have got. They're kind of scattered around a little bit. I can probably zoom in with this. We'll go from right to left or north to south. On the north bridge, no, I'll go closer. Sorry. North Bridge, you got a veteran grenadier infantry unit. They have, I'm trying to remember, 3 SMGs, 2 Panzerfaust, and a light machine gun. And the rest are rifles. And they're dug in behind the trees there. Got their little NCO by the bridge. To their right, I got a Panzerschreck team. I think they're veteran. And then an MG42 team, and they're veteran as well. There's a bunker behind them. There's a bunker at each bridge point. Each bunker has a PaK-40 inside. Sorry if I'm getting you seasick. On top, there's 2 forward observers. The one on the right is the probably the regimental forward observer. He's an artillery observer. And the guy on the left is the forward observer for the 152 millimeter howitzer back there. On the bunker, there's another identical to the last veteran Grenadier infantry squad, 3 SMGs, light machine gun, and the rifles. And they've got their transport, little Hanomag, with 2 medium machine guns on board, ready to pile in there and get on that party bus. There's the before mentioned 152 millimeter howitzer. That is well in range of both bridges, so that's going to rain down some serious death. This should be fun, especially against infantry. Is a whirlwind. In front of them is your commanding officer for the Germans. We've got a captain with 2 guys with assault rifles. So let's say he's Waffen SS. They're pretty serious bastards. Oh, I want to pause. Back at it after the Waffen SS first lieutenant. There's some more Waffen SS. That is an 8-man Waffen SS squad, all with assault rifles and 2 light machine guns. So, yeah. Their little ride there is a half track with a Hanomag, with the 37 millimeter anti-tank gun up top, and got the medium machine gun in back. And all 8 of them could fit in there nicely. Other bunker's got identical as the first. It's got the Pak 40 inside. It's got a couple extra guys on the roof though. As a veteran Grenadier infantry squad with 3 SMGs, a light machine gun, and rest rifles with another Hanomag out back. So Germans should be able to react to whatever attack. Should see what happens. On top of this bunker, they get cover for the trees. Is a 81 millimeter mortar. Does not have a forward observer, so picked an elevated position, looks like. And a sniper team laying in the weeds, waiting to pop some bitches coming across the bridge. See if I can give you a bird's eye view of what the sniper can see. Oh yeah, he can see the bridge. You can see he's good. And the mortar can too. So between the 2 of them, they'll be able to lay down some pretty good fire. Last unit is that infantry unit up front, and that bridge gets an extra special 10-man Waffen SS infantry squad. And where they got 2 rifles, 1 light machine gun, and everybody else has got assault rifles. So they got a lot of firepower. And they're laying down in the weeds. So if the Americans come in over there, over here, basically identical. Oh, there's a Pak 40 in here too, so they'll be all about if the Americans can't establish their bridgehead bridgehead by turn 7, tactical victory for the Germans. If they can push the Germans back and get their armor on here, they have to get them off a road hex. That's kind of a cheesy one if they jump off that one. But they can pick any road hex going off of the map on this side of the river and they win. Yeah, so they have to get 2 tanks off. They can't have just 1 win. So the Germans, once they start coming racing for those bridges, either the American commander will decide to fight it for a little bit, or just drive like hell. Because the road hexes, they can get flying, especially that. Well, no, they don't have. Well, it has to be one of those 4 tanks too. It can't be the. It can't be the Greyhound or the Calliope or any of the half tracks. It has to be those 4 tanks. So I guess you can lay an ambush and try to nail them in the Panzerschreck team. And all of these German Grenadier squads, all 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. Where are you? I'm getting sick. 3. I'll have 2 Panzerfaust too, so they can take some shit out too. So between that and the Pak 40s and artillery pieces, I have no idea what's going to happen. Should be cool though. Should be a good game. We're going to get started soon, and should be fun. All right, we'll be back after turn 1, and yeah, it should be cool. I might just leave the Americans back there because taking them off and moving them around is going to be a bitch. Half those guys are going to be on the map. Just pay no attention to the tanks behind the hill. They're just sitting there. All right, a lot of order dice. I think the Germans had like 16 or 18, and the Americans have like 21, 23. Actually, you know, I was 2 order dice short, so I had to use the anti-tank guns. I had to use D6s. I guess I gotta buy more order dice or just calm down on my scenario making. But I like a good game, especially on a 12x8 map. So fuck it, gonna have some fun. Almost looks like a Russian army. There's so many of the fuckers. I guess the key is don't bunch up. You get taken out by rockets or artillery or something. It's a lot different from the last match that was all tanks. So infantry should be rule the day. And flamethrowers too. Oh, that's that. I forgot the Americans do have that. Where's that engineer at? He's over. Where the fuck is he? Oh my god. I don't know. He's in there somewhere. Is that them? Yeah, there he is. It's gonna be fun. Alright, see ya. As we fly over in our friggin' airship looking down at the battlefield. Oh shit, stuff has happened. The Americans have poured on like you wouldn't believe. It came out of the woodworks. Alright, not too much shooting like a typical turn 1, but this is going to be... Turn 2 should be a hideous disaster. I'll sit down here and... There was 2 shots and 1 artillery strike called in, so that was... Nothing hit, so everyone's still alive, but that artillery strike, if it zeroes in, is going to be ugly. I'm not going to get in order here, but we'll just go with the Americans going first. Rangers came out of the gates swinging. I let them use their Rangers lead the way, so almost got like a double move. We didn't use the whole thing because I didn't want to run out with a big hit me sign in front of the the Waffen SS machine gun team right there. They would have destroyed everybody. So they stopped short on the bridge. They're kind of out of visibility from them. Then the other units just kind of piled in behind them, which probably, I don't know, it has to be done. You got to get across the bridge. It sucks. So maybe you wanted to use some cannon fodder, but the Rangers had to get out there first. They would advance next turn and probably engage some German troops after that. Engineers are right behind the Rangers. They got a 30 cal machine gun team moving up with them. A medic. They're going to need a medic. Hope he's got a lot of band-aids. Hold on to that helmet, buddy. I love you. Americans got their mortar team in place over here and a sniper team in place. I don't think that sniper team is going to be in range of much, but we'll see. That was the it's your primary thrust going for the bridge, and Germans fired their 81mm mortar at the American mortar and missed. And then with all this goody-goody two-shoes targets here, the forward observer over there, see if my zoom works in, said, oh shit, both of them zeroed in over here. Guy on the left called in a 152mm round. Boom, like a little cotton there. Came down and tried to plaster the Rangers. At least they won't be there next turn. Those guys aren't going to sit still, but round landed there. Then the other forward observer plunk down his artillery strike right there. So that could be, if he gets radio contact, it could be absolutely horrendous. I don't know, he could hit all kinds of stuff. The Greyhound sprinted forward. He's got to get up there and support him. One of the half tracks is right there with the Greyhound. The Greyhound's almost shielding him a little bit. That half track has 230 caliber machine gun teams in it, and nope, that's not it. That is a full infantry squad in that one. I'm sorry. That's those guys, a full regular infantry squad. After the artillery strike was called in, I had to kind of rearrange of how aggressive and how close to the bridge I wanted to be. So I backed up a little bit. So first lieutenant came in there, and then we kind of followed suit off to the right a little bit. So just in case, limit the amount of guys that could get plastered. So you got 2 infantry squads here. Let's call them second and third squad. Bazooka team in there with them, and then the captain just kind of making sure everything's in front of him. he's hoping his entire command doesn't get incinerated by those German rounds that are might come screaming in. One half track with the 230 cals and the forward observer are right there. The Calliope's trying to get on top of the hill, lay down some rocket fire. That is the off-board artillery guy. He ran up there. He's going to get up on that hill too. And I think that's it for the Americans. They are pushing. They're some brave bastards. See if they actually get it. Germans have got a lot of stuff in ambush. That Waffen SS 10-man squad is ready to go for next turn. They're in ambush. From the other bridge, the other the other veteran grenadier squad started sprinting down that hill. They're going to try to get in range. MG42 team up and ready. They ran over there and they're in place now for next turn. I think somewhere there's the Panzerschreck team moved up. They'll be trying to take a shot at somebody. Right behind them, trying to be shielded by the woods, is the Wirbelwind. He drove pretty fast and got into there. So next turn he could be unloading with those 4 20mm cannons. That could be ugly. That German half track moved up into there. He doesn't have anybody inside of him. He's going to bring that 37mm gun onto somebody. I think they can fire some light explosive rounds. We got one German, the Waffen SS squad moved into the trees. I think their officer is behind them. There's a bit of a German emplacement back here. They're moving in and fortifying behind these bushes here. I'll get up and move around. That half track is loaded up with this Grenadier squad, 10-man, or inside that half track. Officer and the medic both moved up behind there. Positioned to, I got a feeling this woods is going to get murdered by God knows how much stuff. The other, leaving the other bunker behind, the other veteran Grenadier squad moved into that half track. They're moving up. And we saw the fire from the 152. That gun's going to be busy. Hope they brought lots of shells. The mortar team's already engaged. Snipers in ambush. Someone's got to get onto the bridge, I think, for him to pop a shot off. And then both anti-tank guns. This one will probably be a non-factor unless somebody really runs their dick over there. That bunker will be borderline worthless except for that crow's nest. That gun is in ambush too. I don't think it'll get used. Yeah. Those two Americans pull up a switcheroo and try to haul ass that way. But that's it. So that's the end of turn one. I guess the Germans are going to dismount big time up and fortify in these trees and try to hold off Americans while Americans are getting in position with their artillery and their rockets. And then their infantry hopefully survives this artillery barrage. They're going to be on that bridge like crazy people. There'll be a lot of shooting coming up. Some hand-to-hand. It's going to be Russian style. And then the Americans can knock the Germans back. There's their boys. They'll come on in and probably go for broke and try to at least get the tanks on the board and see what we can do. Alright, that's turn one. Not as uneventful as usual. At least something happened. I like the little cotton balls. That's cool. I said it won't. Those crazy bastards. I love that American push coming out of the woods. You almost... Poor bastards running through artillery grounds and mortar rounds coming down on them. They're just still charging for the bridge. Brave bastards. We'll see them get across. Okay. That's it. See ya. Oh shit, turn two is all about the bravery. Look at these medics running through explosions and shit. Another medic up here. American medic right in the middle of it all. God love them. Yeah, baby. Fucking living the dream. Yeah, hold on to that helmet, brother. Oh. So, there be death out there. A lot of shooting. I think the first person to go, the Calliope got to go first. I just thought I'd get a preliminary strike, maybe get lucky with the rocket launchers. Over here in film. He pulled up onto the hill, got his little rotation, fired a rocket salvo and missed the infantry. Tried to clear the way for the Rangers, but gave him a good shot. Next out of the bag was the Rangers. So they just advanced. Those guys were waiting for him. The veteran Panzer Grenadiers. They opened up. They took a couple of them out. They took out like 3 of them, I think. Everybody shot at the poor Rangers. Rangers took a couple casualties. They fired back. I think they killed 2 of them. Both units lost their support weapons, so Germans lost their light machine gun, and so did the Rangers, and they both lost their NCOs, even with the German rule to check. They rolled a 1 like a dumbass, but that's okay. Rangers got 3 pins in the turn, and the Panzer Grenadiers have 1. I think the next one to go was an absolute slaughter, and it was kind of a pretty devastating when you think about it. The MVP of last game, Nebelwerfer, unloads with his 4 20mm cannons, and all those explosions over there. There used to be engineers in the middle of there. Blew them to hell. There was a couple left, they failed. Like 2 guys left, or 3 I think. They lost their morale check. They had so many pins from the HE explosions, and they broke and went to pieces, and they all ran away when they were covered in guts of their buddies. It was fucking horrible. So they Whirlwind scores the initial kill, wipes out American unit. Yeah, that kind of flamethrower. We had plans for the flamethrower. What happened next? Oh, the American half-track rolled up there, dropped off the artillery piece, and the other off-board artillery observer, you can tell I play a squad leader, are all on the hill. So the Americans now have their artillery and their support in place. Hopefully not too late. The Rangers will hold out, though. This, in an attempt to try to clear the way, this Greyhound rolled up, and he unloaded on well, actually first, excuse me, it's kind of so much stuff going on I missed it. The Waffen SS 8-man squad rolled through the trees, advanced to the trees, and they opened up with their 2 light machine guns, and they took more hits on the Rangers too. And Rangers took another pin from that MG42 over there. They unloaded on them too. So that was their 3 pins. So they're in a, I'd be shitting a brick if I was there. Point blank range in front of you, and then you got everyone and their brothers shooting at you from 3 different angles. They're in a nice L-shaped ambush. Try to support them now that with the Rangers, with the engineers freaking blown to hell. This half-track rolled up, fired its machine gun at those Waffen SS and missed. Dropped off its infantry. And basically they immediately came under fire from the 152mm howitzer that landed around right on the left side of the half-track, and I think it blew 5. Yeah, I think 5 of the regular infantry got blown to hell right away. The half-track survived, thank God. That infantry was able to advance with their pin marker. They only got 1 pin. No, they had 2 pins. They cleared 1 to advance, and they're on the bridge. So, yippee skippy. Don't know what happens after that, but they're at least on the bridge. American medium machine gun backing them up, and a sniper team moving up. To start the game, the German off-board artillery got a delay, so they've adjusted fire into the middle of all this. So hopefully they get a delay again. Hopefully that phone call continues to be busy. Otherwise, they're going to splat this entire offensive. They are going to, yeah, if that lands in the middle of all that, it's going to be pretty horrific. But, got to get across the bridge. American mortar fired, and the German mortar both fired, exchanged shots. They both missed. They're on a 5, they're on a 4, 5, or 6. So it's a little game of chicken now. Who's gonna give up first? Who's gonna get blown to hell? But at least if the American mortar can hit, it can probably kill the sniper team as well. Pack 40 still in ambush. Sort of second this American guy pops his head over the bridge, it's probably gonna get blown off. This light half-track with its half-track with light anti-tank gun, they're in ambush too. They've got an HE shell probably crammed in the breech. This German grenadier squad moved up, and they've ran, so they're in cover waiting to support the Waffen SS ahead of them. Medic, like a beast, charged across the trees, and he's just trying to get in range for small arms fire. This poor American medic couldn't save the engineers because they got hit by heavy support weapons. They had high explosive rounds. He was able to put them in a sandwich bag and mail them home, so there's fucking body parts everywhere, poor bastard. But he's still there. He's trying to support the Rangers and keep them in the fight as long as possible. American officers moving forward to try to help reduce some of these pin markers and scrape together a command as second lieutenants. I mean, the first lieutenant's got to do his job. The captain's working on his eval right now. He's back. He's coming up with the second wave of 2 American infantry squads, a bazooka team, and any vehicles he can muster together. He'll probably do some snap 2 orders, try to get these guys going. Yeah, it is tough attacking over a bridge, I'll tell you that. I bet everyone just loved it in the real world. With the rest of the Germans, this half-track's moved forward, still has infantry on board. It ran. It's probably going to dump them off somewhere back there, I'm guessing. These guys slid down the bridge lines. The other Panzer Grenadier unit, they slid down the bridge and moved into these woods behind the MG34. The Panzerschreck was in range of the Greyhound, fired, and a little bit outside, a little bit wide right there, missed it, thankfully. And I think that's about it. So we've got artillery coming at the beginning of the turn. I'm sure the American artillery will start pumping out stuff between the off-board and the on-board, and more rockets will be inbound. And really it's going to depend on the dice rolling of how the hell what survives in this nightmare over here. Because there's going to be rounds coming in everywhere. I like the little cotton balls. It was kind of fun. I was like, saw that, somebody else doing that. Just a little, shows you who shot, who didn't shoot. Nice little explosion there of death, and that was just what's left of the 20 millimeter rounds. Just pump, 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 pump. Still got that half track. Still has two medium machine guns and the artillery observer for that artillery piece. He can fire direct, but I guess later, hopefully later in the game, he can start firing at targets he can't see, because the Whirlwind's kind of tucked back there, and everyone's just kind of, a lot of the vehicles are kind of hiding out behind trees, trying to avoid getting smacked by these guys. We shall see. All right. And there's still that one infantry unit still in that one half track. There they are up there. They're riding into combat on that thing right there. Little Hanomag. Great turn two. To break out the dust on a lot of rules. A lot of different rules. Trying to remember them all on different penetrations and getting off vehicles and getting on vehicles and losing half your team for morale checks. That was it was kind of fun. Like, you know, I'm still kind of new to the game, so I enjoyed it. And we learned a bunch. We shall see what happens in turn 3. Americans have until turn 7 to secure the bridge. I don't know. If I did it, if I didn't give them enough firepower, I'm gonna have to switch it up next time. I'd do okay. I'm a believer. Alright, I'll see you in turn 3. Oh shit! Let's talk turn 3. German off-board artillery observer got a hold of his boys and the strike came in. Oh shit. Yeah, it pretty much fucked up some shit up in here. The first squad of the regular infantry, they took some pins. That machine gun crew took some pins. The Rangers that used to be there took some pins. That half track took some pins. And the Greyhound took some pins. I think there was a medic in there. They even fucking bombed the medic. That's a bunch of bullshit. So they took some pins. Next set of bag were the Rangers. I tried to shoot the Germans, but they failed their check. I knew they were going to get smoked, and those guys they were the next dice, so they mowed down the Rangers. They had so many effing pins on them, it was insane. I think they lost like 4 more guys. They had like 5 or 6 pins. It was brutal, and they failed their desperation morale check. So I went to shit. I was worried about, I wanted to get across the bridge this turn, so first thing I did was drop a mortar smoke round. It's a bit exaggerated smoke for a medium mortar. I don't have any templates for smaller, but it did the job. It cut off the dudes up on the fortification up there. The mortar team and everything couldn't see them, so they couldn't see the bridge anymore. They were still able to lob around at the Rangers, but instead of having a 3 or 4 or 5 hit the mortar, they had to restart again the clock. So they missed the Ranger team, but they ended up getting blasted anyway later on. I mean, actually, they tried to hit the medium machine gun team there, but they missed. American officer, first lieutenant, moved forward, and those guys had a shit ton of pins on them, so they rallied them. They got rid of all their pins. It was awesome, and just in time for the Whirlwind to fucking wear them out with 20 millimeter cannons. They got another pin, so they lost like 2 more guys. They also got shot by, oh yeah, and before they got fucked up, that Waffen SS veteran squad fired machine guns and hit those guys too, and took out 2 guys, put another pin on them before they rallied. But then the medic, being an effing superstar, where is he at? He's somewhere in the middle of all these explosions. There he is. he brought both the dudes back to life again. That was cool from the small arms fire. Rolled 2 perfect dice and brought them both back. So he's a superstar. He became a bronze star. Then they got wasted by the 40mm, the 20mm automatic cannons off the Whirlwind. The medic can't do much without, just body parts flying everywhere. So, and they made their desperation morale. They're still here. They got 1 pin. I think they're down to 4 guys. So these poor bastards. First squad's not looking too good. Second and third squad, they're running up. They're running through some smoke and stuff, but they ain't even got dirt on their uniforms yet. First squad is the shit. They're going to be, if they get across this bridge, it'll be an effing miracle. The bazooka team moved up with them, and so did their the captain moved up too. Most of these guys tried to rally or failed their checks. The Greyhound was trying to take out the Panzerschreck that fired on him last time and failed his check. The Panzerschreck fired back at the Greyhound and missed, thank Christ. Thought my son was going to have me wasted there, but thankfully that rocket, he can't roll for rockets at all. This half-track did roll up and dismounted its infantry, and they had 2 more medium machine guns. So we had 3 medium machine guns on this embankment. The aforementioned medium machine gun crew got fucking killed big time because that half-track rolled up after the Whirlwind shot, and he fired his light machine gun at him and put a pin on him. And then all these dudes dismounted and they advanced, and they all fired. Only you can prevent forest fires. They fired and wore him out. I think there was a little bit left, actually. It was like 1 guy left on the medium machine gun. They lost 2 guys, and then the MG42 fired and finished them off. The German squad that was in those trees, I think you can see them over here. They flanked to the right. They're gonna reinforce. These guys moved out of their trees after the fucking Calliope connected. Spectacular fashion, as I like to say. Crushed the Waffen SS. Put a bunch of pins on them. Killed about 3 or 4 of them. Landed around a direct hit on the Hanomag. I was like rolling 6s. I'm gonna go play the lottery. Blew that to shit. And also hit the officer back there. They went down and only lost 1 guy. Took a bunch of pins. Where the hell is he? I lost him in the zoom. One of his buddies got blown to shit. He had to go down to prevent both his buddies from getting blown to shit. And these guys said fuck that and ran out of the trees over here. He went into ambush. Sniper stayed in ambush. The mortar team tried to fire on a medium machine gun and missed. I guess he'll be down to a 5 on the next roll. That guy's still waiting for someone to get across the bridge. We're going to roll, see what the smoke does. Heavy artillery. Did he miss or did he hit? I think he... Oh yeah, he went after that armored car. I went after that half-track and missed. Put a round beyond him. And I think that's it. Oh, the American artillery fired. It went direct fire. It tried to take out these... everyone's trying to kill these... these the Waffen? Yeah. Without their NCO. They shook their pin when they passed it and smoked the Rangers. But the Americans called in their artillery strike. They're about done with these fucks. So they're going to get some payback. If there's any kind of wildlife or some kind of wetland protection thing around this river, it's going to be ecologically destroyed. They're landing artillery all over this bitch. This bridge, I'm surprised this bridge is still standing. It's the best built bridge in the world. Oh, and the sniper team moved into the water. They said fuck that with the waiting to get across the bridge, because everyone who runs up on the bridge gets blown to pieces so far. So we shall see what turn 4 has in session as left for us. Americans are pushing the bridge now. The Germans at least don't have their off-board artillery anymore, so that's good. Still got a ass load of infantry. They thinned down their what's left of them, at least. I mean, their support. They mowed down that Waffen double machine gun team. Those guys are smoked, and they lost 1 Hanomag in there. The Americans, though, lost the Rangers, and they've lost the engineers. So that's That flamethrower could have done some business. Let's see if the smoke stays. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. If this is like the most phenomenal off-board artillery strike, it probably, and then another, if those guys back there get their act together, the artillery and the Calliope keep hitting, maybe the machine gun base of fire, but there's a buttload of Germans over there. They are in effect. They're firing some smoke. Whew. We'll see what happens. And they still got boys waiting to go. All right, the big push. Mayhem. Yeah, that's how I feel. Shoo, this shit sucks. Will the American armor get on the board? That's the big thing. He'll be done after this, after he gets his artillery strike in. Hopefully it comes in. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. But we'll see you in turn 4. Turn 4 was the turn of fucking turn of destiny for the Hill of Destruction. Artillery is reigning supreme on both sides. Calliope unloaded into the Germans over there, and I got 2 hits, put a bunch of pins down, blew another fucking half-track to pieces. The other the American artillery landed in the middle of that infantry over there, and I fucking put some more pins on them. They lost their Panzerschreck team too. They got blown to pieces. We'll just do artillery first. The German heavy howitzer fired and landed in the middle of a 2nd platoon here, or 2nd squad, and killed about 2. They went down, would have killed more of them, killed like 2 of their guys. Bazooka team just hanging out with them, talking to them about, hey, let's shoot some shit, man. We're trying to bump some smokes off them. They went off like a Roman candle. All their fucking ammunition on their backpacks blew them to fucking pieces. The officer took a couple pins too, so definitely slowed down 2nd platoon. What other artillery? The fucking Wirbelwind continues its winning ways. He rolled up and fired all of his 20mm cannons, destroyed the Greyhound. That MG42 next there fired and took out one of the guys on this machine gun team. The Germans were able to, with their squads over here that were no longer with us, they were able to take out 2 of the medium machine guns for the Americans, and then put a pin and wound the other one. And the mortar from the Germans are zeroing in on that medium machine gun team. The Americans were able to put some more pins on that team there. They like pinned them to death. They were just getting racked. Then 1st squad, what was left of them, ran across the bridge. They triggered every ambush in the book. The Pac 40 in the bunker fired and killed one of their guys. Actually, it missed, sorry. The light anti-tank gun fired and on the half-track and hit one of their guys and killed him. And the sniper shot, and he just wounded somebody because he just put a pin. I just put a pin on him too. They still able to pass all that, get over the bridge, and there was a couple more guys at some points, but they actually got fired on by another squad too. No, they didn't. They had 3 guys, and they unloaded and they rolled the best dice in the world, and crippled them, triggered a desperation morale. They had like 7 pins on them. 7 or 8 pins, and they failed that big time. So they wiped out the Waffen SS guys. Even with the Fanatic rolls, it was like I rolled like the fucking the worst you can get, like with a 6s or something. I rolled double 6s. They went ballistic and they all jumped in the river and drowned themselves. I thought I was all smart with the sniper team advancing here. My boy said, "Oh fuck no!" I didn't even realize these guys could advance. This is a Grenadier veteran grenadier unit. They ran up and just diced. They fucking sliced and diced the sniper hanging out in the water. Not a lot of cover down there when you're treading water. They got submachine guns and everything else, and they fucking shot them up pretty good. The Brave guys who haven't done anything yet is third squad ran across. The American regulars ran all the way across the bridge, and now they're lined up to do something, but they got their asses exposed a little bit, so it's going to really depend on dice pulling. They're right behind these guys. The captain came with them, trying to not to be a bitch. This half-track came too and rolled, and they fired its side machine gun and its 50 cal and put some more pins on. They killed a couple of the guys in this grenadier units. They're up to 4 pins, so they might be in trouble. The mortar team here tried to fire on the Whirlwind. They've had enough of that thing and missed, but zeroing in if the Whirlwind doesn't move. I think the big artillery boys are going to turn there. Now the Whirlwind's exposed. The Whirlwind had to come out of where it was because of all the... It lost visibility from where it was because there was so many units in front of it. Couldn't fire through them. Like, he kept getting lucky with gaps. He'd fire and then they move a unit in front of it and then fire and then move a unit around it. And now now it's too fucking bad. He had to come out to the front and play around. So we'll see what happens now that he's exposed. Hopefully I can land a 105 millimeter round right in that inside of that little dome, blow those guys to hell. Now the Americans are over here. They're no longer in the line of sight of that forward observer for the 152. He can still plaster these guys, but I'm hoping I can get them out of the way. You think we'll be able to see with all this fire, but it doesn't count as... I should put more smoke down maybe. Mildly concerned about all the firepower on this thing. Yeah, the Pac 40 could wear some guys out. I just really going to pound. This whole turn's going to pound the dice pulling. You know, first, if I get the first dice, third squad is just going to unload into these guys. He was able to run another infantry unit up to get within the 18 inches. If I could have killed these guys and there was no one near it, I could have immediately brought the tanks on the next turn. So these guys are out in the open too. So I'm probably going to pour firepower into both of these units to try to free up my armor. That's probably the only chance I've got now. I've got so much shit exposed to... yeah, if I get those tanks, it's going to be on. Yeah, I can't wait for that. They're trying, man. These guys are fucking some brave bastards. That German medic did great. He actually brought one guy back to life. He was able to... He's doing great. Both medics are earning their pay, so that's fucking cool as hell. I love my medics. Maybe I should go hand to hand. I might do. Maybe I'll see if I can get them to go hand to hand on the bridge. Both medics going at it. I'll send them an email. Say, I'm coming for you, bitch. Meet me on the bridge at noon. They must think we're racial against Hanelmag, so I've blown both of them to shit. He's taking up my Greyhound. My half-tracks are still there. This guy can't... He can't pass his morale. He's been pinned down twice. I think I might just do a rally next. If I can get that armor on, that Chaffee has the command vehicle rule, so maybe I'll get lucky there. But I can't roll for shit. I keep rolling 10s and shit. And we shall see. It's really going to depend who pulls the dice. Because these guys are... if I can land a good artillery strike in the middle of that disaster and shoot the shit out of those guys and hold it this turn, I'll be in business here. I need to get... second squad needs to get their ass in action. I think the first lieutenant's in there getting plastered too. He's been right in the middle of it too. He's gonna... if he doesn't do anything, at least he's gonna look good. I can't believe the sniper team. They got fucking waxed. I didn't even think about those guys running forward and just spraying them in the water. That must have sucked, sitting there wearing your got your water wings on, floating across the river, and then someone runs up and machine guns you. It's like, fuck. This is what Normandy felt like probably. And I get rid of that Whirlwind. That thing's a fucking killing machine. It's like it's a wood chipper for my infantry. What do they say in Private Ryan? The 20 millimeter's killing us. That thing isn't a big friend either. At least I'm out of visibility in a lot of places. I got to get that other squad over the river, and then this thing will be. I'll be able to hide in the trees. Maybe get lucky and kill it with something else. All right. What was that? Turn 4. Oh, these poor bastards. Miserable. They came on. They've got across the bridge at least. That's something. Like in my last game, where the American armor rolled across the bridge and were able to do something. All right, we'll see you in turn 5. Oh, it's crazy ass shit. Boom, baby. See ya. Turn 5. Holy crap! The firing squad turn. I think this is 3rd platoon. I might be 2nd. I'm not sure. Sorry. And I think those guys are 2nd platoon. Yeah. 3rd platoon had advanced over the bridge on turn 4. They pulled the first dice. There was a veteran grenadier squad here, and they just point blank range mowed them down. So it was all about the dice pulling. They freaking slaughtered him. The medic was still there. His fate was those guys, those dirty bastards. The officer and his backup boy. They took the medic out later. They advanced up and machine gunned him down. Not very classy in my book, but oh well. I think the next one out of the bag, I think I went for broke, and I took the 105mm howitzer fired direct over sights and nailed the Wirbelwind, destroyed it. So that was 2 big ones right out of the box with the Germans. They lost. I was like, oh yeah, baby. So my boy was pissed, but that's the way it works. His artillery had been reigning supreme, so I was kind of glad. So I took out. I'm like anti-vehicle guy. I'm like a repo squad here. So two Hanemags blown up there, and the Wirbelwind. So the Wirbelwind was a fucking slice and die. It was like a moving wood chipper. It was killing my guys. I think next up there was another Panzer Grenadier squad that was right there where that pin marker is. I think I first tried to fire the rockets at them, and I tried to pound that entire area and missed completely with the Calliope. Then that German squad that was right there ran up and machine gunned down that was left of first squad. There was I think it was 3 of them left. Killed them dead, and then for good measure they took their Panzerfaust out and fired it right through the front grill of the half track. So that thing got blown to shit too. So we lost 2 guys, two dice right there. So good payback. Second squad ran up onto the bridge, and for the next dice, and they basically annihilated that squad. They mowed them down to about nothing. I think there was a couple guys left, and then the machine gun crew there finished them off just in time for the MG 42 machine gun crew to kill off what was left of my 30 cal left. So my 330 cals have all been wiped off the embankment. That's been like you don't want to be there. I think the Rangers got killed there, and then 330 cal teams got killed there. So it's not a good hiding spot. If you're playing hide and go seek, don't be that guy. American mortar fired. I tried to fire on these Waffen here. They were in the bushes. Missed. They got, it would have been a 5 or 6 in the next turn. The Germans weren't taking any of that. They shifted to the right. They advanced. They fired and put a pin on second squad. That half track rallied. The first lieutenant rallied. About that time, the captain ran off the bridge. Ran over the bridge and shot their German medic in the head. These guys were like the wall of fail. The Pac 40 fired at second squad and missed. The mortar fired at a medium machine gun crew that's now dead, and they missed. And the sniper even fired trying to kill out the captain and missed him. So I was like, they suck. That guy it's the forward observer for the 105 millimeter howitzer back here for the Americans. So he's all that's left of the, what was that half-track crew. He jumped out while those guys were burning. The Handle Mag there with the light anti-tank gun was able to put a round into 3rd Squad and blew one guy to hell. Put a pin marker on them. What's left of the German infantry there, the full squad, they had 2 pins and they were going to advance and try to close the distance on the bridge, but they failed to get over their pins, so they've got, so they're down. The German officer back here, the 1st lieutenant, was able to finally get his shit together and rallied. Where's he at? I'm losing him in the woods. There he is. He's still got his boy with him. And the German 152 millimeter howitzer tried to zero in on the bridge and missed. But these guys, he actually tried to fire on back here, and they've actually advanced. So there's no countdown going there. Americans are moving, so it's harder to hit them. Thank God. The Germans are within 18 inches of the bridge. This Waffen-SS squad, what's left of them, like there's 3 of them. Light machine gun and assault rifle and NCO. They are still holding the bridge, so the countdown is not started for the American armor. They're bringing it. So these Americans now are going into turn 6. They have to basically push these guys back or out or kill them or something to bring their armor on the following turn if they can hold it. So we shall see. They'll have to turn around and probably go for broke. Be 2nd and 3rd squads, all that's left. They can bring that half-track across the road too now that he's rallied up. So the war wagon come across. Might be time to bring the Calliope up, or I'm not sure if I'm just going to go for broke and hope my rockets get lucky with more rockets. I don't know. When they do hit, it's brutal. But having to get 6s sucks. The 105 is still in range for firing direct over sight, so it's a little bit more accurate. And that guy's just chilling. He's like the German off-board artillery officer. He's done too. This guy, the 2nd lieutenant's got to get in the fight, and the 1st lieutenant's got to get in the fight because the captain is leading the way. He's already gone up and shot someone in the back of the head, so he's doing good. All right. Turn 6. So they got turn 6 and then turn 7. If they can't pop these guys, they can't bring the armor on. If the armor comes on, it's going to be a whole new world. Don't know. We'll see. The Germans are it's got to hold out for 2 turns. It's tough to kill these regulars, man, and these veterans. They hold out. Hitting them with artillery and rockets is kind of helping, but you know, that's about it. Get up those extra pins. All right, we'll see you in turn 6, you bastards. You guys are awesome. See ya. Well, that's turn 6, and the Americans have achieved the beginning objective, at least. That was a kick-ass turn. Great dice rolling. Probably total shit tactics, but oh well. I just fucking run right at them. What the hell happened? 3rd platoon, we just ambushed these guys, advanced to the left side of the burning half-track, warmed themselves with the burning corpses of their comrades, and then mowed down the Waffen-SS 4-man squad that was left in there. So they're gone. What the hell happened next? I think there was a machine gun. No, there wasn't a machine gun. Oh, what the hell happened next? I can't remember. I'm trying to remember. It was like a crazy turn. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's 2nd squad came off the bridge, and they opened fire on the veteran grenadiers that were there, and they only got kicked 1 casualty and a pin marker. Nothing exciting. The German officer that was in there had moved forward, and he had fired and killed one of their number. The pistol wasn't in range at that time because they were still on the bridge. The assault rifle had fired and killed one of their guys. They were able to pass their morale thanks to the captain and his first lieutenant sitting right there. So they lost a pin, moved forward, they still got some, and were able to at least fire and put a pin marker on the German infantry. The German infantry had gone first, and actually I was, we were hopeful. I wasn't hopeful that they would be able to pass their 3 pins they had, and they rolled an 11. So they, even with the officer advancing near him to give him a bonus, it was, yeah, it was pretty horrible. I think they still missed by like 1 or something. It was pretty bad. They had 4 pins at that time. It was pretty. They had a lot of pins. The MG42 team had fired, and they put a pin on these guys too. They took a casualty. So they've lost about 2 or 3 guys this turn, but they're still coming. You notice they're getting a bit smaller. They're down to what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. The MG42 took out a guy. The officer, his assistant, took him out. Fired an anti-tank gun at him and hit him. Lost a guy there. That Pack 40. And these things aren't good against infantry. Put a pin on those guys. That was all I was able to do. Sniper shot and tried to kill the officer. I gotta put a pin on the. Oh yeah, he put a pin on the officer, but then the officer got the next dice and advanced behind those infantry, so he lost the pin right away. And the mortar fired and at those guys and missed. MVP was this guy. This 81mm mortar American fired and rolled a 6, and the last guy that was in range of the bridge was that officer and his assistant. Landed around their heads and blew them to freaking hell, so they're dead. Also, the American 105 fired and plastered what was left of that squad. Basically just knocked them down to about 0 and put a bunch of shitload more pins on them. I think they had 3 guys left. They failed their morale. They broke and ran. That Sherman tried to take out the officer. Actually, I decided I wasn't going to. I should have fired the rocket just for fun, but I had a better probability. It was a 5 or a 6, I think, to hit with the main gun on the officer, and I fired and missed. So I was left with the last shot of the mortar, which was like the last dice of the game. I was like, oh god, oh that round, sorry, and he nailed them. So I got lucky there. I'm going to Vegas. The half track even rolled up and took out a couple of those guys before they all got killed. So that was it. It was a bunch of freaking just basically going forward and shooting. So I guess that's the key. I don't know what the Americans are going to do to take out that half track. The bazooka team's dead. They got a bunch of small arms. I guess they'll have to advance with armor and stuff like that. But there's these guys might have to hide. The guy really can't kill that. Maybe I guess they can advance and jump inside and stab them, kill them with shovels. No flamethrower, take out the bunkers. They'll have to go the old-fashioned way. But now with the end of the turn, there are Americans 12 inches within the bridge. Just a few. And the Germans are not within 18 inches. I think the closest guy might be, it's probably that half track there. But if you went by infantry, that MG42 team over there in the weeds. I'm having like a seizure with my hand, sorry. He's the closest. Oh, and the German 152 tried to zero in. He was hot in the beginning of the game, rolling 6s and 5s and 6s, but he's gone cold. He missed again, so he tried to blow up the bridge. It was like he was the first dice out of the bag. I said I'm going for it, and I was hoping to. Oh, he was hoping to take out second platoon. But no Moss. Rolled like a 2 and killed some fish. But the victory condition has been achieved, and these guys have come onto the board. So that is crazy. So America's just got a big boost. I'm assuming I'm going to push forward quite a bunch. Got that observer up there, so this guy can start going indirect now and fire even farther. That's 105. I guess fire direct all game. I can still fire at that MG42 team. But we'll see. Now all they got to do is get over the bridge, get off that road over there, and we're in business. In how many turns? I think before turn 10. So we're going to turn 7. Shouldn't be a problem unless that Pack 40 goes nuclear. And the Americans don't drink cough medicine and drive in front of the other bunker that hasn't fired a single round all game. All right, that's cool. Take a little break. My wife's home. I'm gonna go see her. Shoot. All right, I'll see you guys. Ciao. I'm whooping my kid's ass. That's good stuff. Boom. It's fun playing the Americans. They just play the Germans, so this has been kind of fun. All right, see ya. If you listen really closely, can you hear it? Can you hear it? MVP, MVP, MVP. Fucking MVP, baby! Oh, this mortar team. Jesus. Took out the machine gunner last round. This round, the German mortar put a round down here, misses him. He just fucking whirls his gun around, fucking no idea what's going on, does the math calculation, and lands around right on top of the bunker roof. Blew the mortar to hell, put a pin on the sniper. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. The American tanks start moving down the road. The Chaffee fired at the sniper team and wounded them. It was up there. The other Sherman fired and put another pin on them, so they're like, God damn! And then before he got mincemeated, the Calliope fired his last HE round of his life and landed right on him and blew him to fucking hell. Took his ass out. And they were in there celebrating, high-fiving, and then the fucking Pack 40 76mm high-velocity anti-tank round went right through their fucking heads, and they're all dead now. So they blew. The game's not over, motherfucker. Thing fired and just destroyed the bitches. Second squad and third squad, man, they're moving like goddamn superstars. Third squad's flanking left with most of their troops. They're almost too close. They're going to get in there and bum rush the gun and take it out. Medic's going with him because he's just a badass. Wish I was that badass when I was active duty. Captain's sticking with him. Captain's leading the way. Second lieutenant doesn't want to be outmatched. He is he's in the middle of all those flames. He's following what's left of first platoon. I mean second platoon. First platoon's they're chilling at the funeral home. They're coming around. They were trying to get around that and capture that transport. He was able to pull the next. He was still measured it out. He was still a little bit closer to the bunker before the mortar team got blown up. So he boogied and ran. He's probably going to use his rear machine gun to try to protect the back end of the bunker. And that's it. 152. It's almost a combat non-effective now. He can't hit shit. He was on target. He was rolling sixes all day long earlier. Now he's donezo. The Germans are down to a sniper, an anti-tank gun, the war wagon, and their howitzer. And Americans have got 1.5 squads of infantry, some medics, some support stuff, 1 half track, and then they've got all their armor. Well, minus the Calliope coming up the road. It's gonna be game over. But that was game. It was turn. That was 7. So they still got 2 turns to get across the bridge. They're gonna have to go haul ass. And I think the Calliope, the Chaffee's gonna have to light it up, and we'll see what happens in turn 8. All right, see ya. Turn 8, right? Shit, I'll have to check it. I think it is. American armor advancing up the road. No shots fired. Thanks to another MVP. Those guys loaded a smoke round in and dropped one right in front of. Oh, he didn't shoot. I'll get rid of that smoke off the Pack 40. He did not fire this round because he couldn't see shit. Excellent place smoke round. Uh, American infantry, was it second squad? Oh, I get these fucking guys confused with the big pauses in between filming. Second squad charged through there, it was closer to the truck, technically would have captured it, but that 152 was in ambush and fired over open sights and fucking blew the shit out of them. Those guys landed like in the river. Body parts, shoes, everything. You could have put enough. There wasn't enough left to put in a soup can. So they got blown to fuck. This other infantry ran around the building. They're going to go in the bunker next time and take out the anti-tank gun. That guy was able to crack off a couple rounds at him with his MG42 out of the back and put a pin on him, wounded him. This dude went, officer parked there so the truck wouldn't get captured. Truck rolled up, fired a 50 cal and smoked a sniper. Took his ass out. And second lieutenant's all by himself. All by myself. Got his buddy though. But they, I think he's just realizing that there's nothing left but the shoe prints of second squad. Fucked. Just third squad now, baby. That's all they got left. Third squad. Yeah! They're like Suicide Charlie back in my old fucking unit. 1st Battalion, 7th. Sweet. Germans probably should fuck it and boogie. It's fine with them. I think the might have the half track. I would recommend at least half track scoops up the 152 and they can take that to the eastern front and fight the Russians. Because I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe dice get pulled. I think it's all over but the crying. Great game. Assuming the Americans' armor will be there on turn 9 and off the board on turn 10. So it'll be an American victory unless they can wipe them out totally. Might be tough to kill that bitch way over there. They got forward observer and there's another observer behind that bunker. So that would take too many turns. But we'll see. Alright, ciao. Turn 9 is just the beginning of the end. It's all... They tried to play spoiler and launch a 152 millimeter round at this third Sherman, or second Sherman in line, third tank in line, and missed. Kind of a prayer. Chaffee and the Sherman, third lead Sherman, are basically over the bridge. Third squad broke into the back of the bunker and took out the gun crew. So they're fucking dead. I'd have put them all inside. I could if I wanted to. The lid comes off, but they're all in there. And the medic went in there with him just to hide from any kind of reprisal from the 152 or that anti-tank gun. That half track rolled up, fired his 50 cal before they left at that one and missed at the handle mag, and then Captain just kind of hid behind the half track, and then second lieutenant's just kind of checking out the woods, doing some bird watching. They're just, I'm just satisfied with no more casualties. Everybody else is going home. Tanks are going to roll off the bridge. Americans will probably just kind of regroup and chill. I don't think I'll even bother doing turn 10 because there's nothing you can do to stop me. So that's the game, baby. That was a blast. We had a good time. I really thought I was screwed for a long period of time. When I was losing people left and right, when the engineers went to shit. And I lost the Rangers and the engineers off the... I think I should have probably sent the infantry in first, but that kind of, I don't know. Maybe I did it right. I don't know. Just kind of... I could have used the big movers and shakers in the game were when a large size infantry unit could get into range and get all their guns going, and the Rangers and the engineers really had that and never got to use it. My sniper basically got in the water with water wings and got blown to shit. I got lucky my mortar survived where he was, but he did awesome. My artillery and my Calliope did pretty damn good. They freaking shattered some German lines. I don't think my armored car did much. I might have put some pins on somebody. The half tracks, one of them actually lived. I was shocked. The other one got blown to shit. But They did all right. They towed in guys. They dropped infantry off. All the 30 cals I put up on the embankment, I really had high plans for them to lay down a base of fire, but instead they just got piecemealed up. The Wirbelwind was awesome. I think if so many guys wouldn't have got out in front of him and killed him, I think I could have. I think he should have. Sorry. I'm not sure what he could have done, but he definitely, when he was able to employ his weapons, he shattered infantry sections. Just tore them up. And then the 152 millimeter howitzer tore people up as well. That armored car really didn't play a factor at all. I mean, that half track with the light anti-tank gun, but I don't know, it was all pretty. German units were pretty phenomenal. They took a beating from this artillery position up on here. When they were able to direct fire and take them out, I don't know, falling back might have been an option. But they had to stay near the bridge to keep the Americans from bringing the armor on. American armor really didn't do much except for kill a machine gunner, but they were the source of the tactical victory, and they're pretty. Calliope did good till the PaK-40 melted his ass. Great game. We had fun. Lots of cool explosions. Next up, we get 3 or 4 buildings and make a little village here and come up with some kind of scenario. Probably just do standard. I'm gonna try to keep it at 1,000 points. Per usual, I lost my mind, but it was a fun game, and with the victory conditions, with the sense of urgency that I got to get across the bridge, I got to take the bridge. I did things I wouldn't have done normally. I'm usually whenever I played computer games, when I play other games, I'm kind of a turtler. Sit there and build up my base and let the other guy kind of wear himself out on my defenses. It was kind of fun playing the aggressor, playing the crazy guys. I know if I was the real military commander of this disaster, they probably would have put a bullet in my head. I'm sure other guys in the real life probably did worse to their troops. I know in World War I, at least they did, fucking whistling and blowing guys over the bunker, go over the walls of a trench. Go get them, charge that machine gun. But hell yeah, that was fun. Great game. Rules were good. I think I got everything right. I might have screwed a couple things up, but overall I think we did all right. Whole lot of consulting and reading, and yeah. There's great, if they were from Valhalla, they'd be like, these are the Grateful Dead, right? Not all those guys got used. The Americans on the second shelf. I should have thrown in the Empire from Warhammer. Go get them. Those are my old models I never even finished painting. I gotta do those at some point. Thank God I didn't use all those. I'd have been like, there's 4,000 tanks. That was last game. There's the new King Tiger. A little bit more green than the other green, but he was the only new piece of armor I didn't use. I got to use the Chaffee, the Calliope, and the Greyhound. And the new 2 new Hannah mags I had. Alright, that's it. I'm going to go load this up on YouTube. I'll see ya.